Always catch. Yo, salute to everybody.
Raiders!
Oh, somebody get that. Already in the building. Salute to my AFC West family. We are back. We're having a little technical difficulties with Ben's audio.
But it's Darcy. Darcy is messing up. He's like
I was in a food coma.
He's like a
I knew Ben was going to do that too. I had this nagging suspicion that he was going to blame Darcy for it. But salute to everybody here in the building. As always, man, make sure you guys wipe them feet. Get those likes up on both channels. If you're watching on Darcy, salute to you guys. If you're watching on mine, salute to you guys. And also make sure to check it out in another day or two on Ben's channel as he cuts, pastes, and makes us look terrible with our takes on his channel.
And I have a new tool. You guys saw that I figured out how to use AI to make you guys literally say whatever I want. So that was pretty cool.
You know what? I like that you brought that up. We're going to start the show with this.
Oh, man.
Darcy, you're disgusting, man. The shit that you were saying. What, was I saying anything?
Yeah, you said believe, I think.
Oh, no. We're not going to play this.
Oh, yeah. I made you say believe.
Okay.
I didn't see the Graphk part. I only saw me.
Yeah.
Broncos will win the AFC West.
Yeah. The Chiefs are dead. Believe?
It looks real to me, right? I mean, that's about as real as an Epstein file can get right there, right?
Okay.
Salute, man, to everybody. We got a ton to unpack today, you guys. This is going to be more about, Darcy and his team. Big deal today. I mean, you want to, take over with the highest paid guard in the NFL. And Ben, I definitely want to hear your take on this situation. But Darcy, how you feeling, man? Trey Smith.
Chiefs signed Trey Smith to a 4-year, $94 million extension with $70 million fully guaranteed. They made him the highest paid guard in NFL history. That's just kind of one of those nice things that every player wants to say they're the highest paid blank at their position.
For the moment.
And he is a blank.
For the next,
he's a blank. Yep.
He's better than your right guard. But
no,
anyway,
look at my right guard is an all-pro, a multi-time Pro Bowler, and every single metric scores vastly above the guy you just paid $5 million more per year to.
I'll tell you what, you're going to have to pay your right guard if you want to keep him, and you're going to have to pay him more than
No, because he just took a hometown discount last season, and that's what good roster management is. Like last week, you told us from a roster building standpoint, I clipped you up in a video. You said from a roster building standpoint, you could say that it's not a great move, and it's a horrible
questionable
move.
I wouldn't say it's horrible. I just think the Chiefs are definitely making a decision to pay two interior offensive line guys that much money. The Chiefs actually front-loaded this contract, which is just a little bit interesting because they don't normally do that with big contracts, but they front-loaded a lot of this. And I also think that if you just look at it, the Chiefs took the franchise tag, multiplied it by 4, and gave him some guaranteed money. That's essentially what this deal is.
Hey, Ben. They paid all that, but they could have got the go Alice Kappa for $5 million.
We could have done that. And you guys could have given Trey Smith on the open market $25 million this season. Because I'll tell you what, the Chiefs got him for cheaper than he would have been on the open market, and that is a fact. There's some team. Do you know what the Chiefs' previous defensive tackle Tershawn Wharton got paid to go play in Carolina? Imagine Trey Smith hit the open market and the Chiefs didn't franchise tag him. He would have gotten $26 million a year. Definitely. So the Chiefs got a cheaper contract over a 4-year span. And I think that this is going to be something very similar to Joe Thuney, that you look at the contract 2 years from now and you're like, okay, that made a lot of sense.
Yeah. What's the climate like out there in Chiefs Kingdom with the fans? How's everybody feeling? Is it a holy overpay, or is it like everybody's like, okay, we got our guy locked down, we're good to go, let's keep this thing rolling?
Graphk, when all you do is go to Super Bowls and AFC Championship games, it's like pretty excitement all the time. Like fans don't really fully understand all the time that, okay, like we can't pay this guy, or paying this guy might mean we can't. Every Chiefs fan wanted Trey Smith back to a certain extent. It's just like, how much are you willing to go? Now, I actually found out from some little insider information that he was going to sign this contract about 4 or 5 days ago. Mm-hmm. But initially he wanted like money that I can't say the number, take that 23 and add a little, like add whatever you're paying Ingram a year. And I think a little bit more. So like he was going to add,
not the goat, Ben.
He was asking for a lot of money, and the Chiefs were never going to do that. But I think that both sides wanted to come to a deal. And again, I think that it's hard to criticize the Chiefs roster building when they have consistently been ahead of schedule in letting a guy walk or ahead of schedule in not paying somebody. And if they view Trey Smith as a cornerstone of this offensive line, an offensive line that traded someone who is significantly older earlier on in the offseason in Joe Thuney, at the end of the day, this came down to Joe Thuney or Trey Smith. They picked younger talent in Trey Smith.
Which I understand that. I get it. Ben, what's your take on this, man? I mean, 4 years, $94 million deal, $70 million guaranteed. He is now the highest paid guard in the NFL, man. What's your take on this?
I mean, I think we got to just clip you last week, Darce. You said it's not from a roster building standpoint. And I know you're like, it's hard to criticize a team that's been to 5 Super Bowls, but like, that's what Jordan's Bulls were saying at the end of the run. I think the rest of the league sees this and sees that it is not sustainable, man. And he was the second best guard on your team last year that let Patrick Mahomes get sacked 6 times in a Super Bowl against 4-man pressure. So you let your second best guard become the highest paid guard in football, and then you just get chump change in return for Thuney. I just don't see that smart. And he is a good guard, but it's like you now look at the guy who was an All-Pro, which is Quinn Meinerz, who every PFF grade and his peers and through the All-Pro voting said was better, is now the 8th highest paid guard in football because he took a hometown discount last year. So it's not a good idea to wait till the very end, and then you have to settle an overpay here. If the Chiefs had foresight, they would have done this last year, and they could have had him at the 8th highest paid instead of he's making $5 million more per year than Quinn Meinerz, and he's not as good by any metric.
I'll tell you what, the Chiefs last year thought about this inside Creed Humphrey. Like, they got Creed Humphrey done last year, and that contract is going to look great. It looked great at the time. And so I think that they had, and listen, to kind of answer Graph's question again, right now, and this is crazy, right now it's not, ooh, yay, we got Trey Smith. It's Trent McDuffie's coming up. When we paying Trent McDuffie? When's that extension coming? George Karlaftis, is he going to be a Chief? We'll see. But, like, that's why I feel like right now they got it out of the way, and they should have got it out of the way. You could argue it should have happened last year, but also last year they didn't have the flexibility to pay, someone $23.5 million.
What's the energy around Josh Simmons right now? Is he going to be your starting tackle out there in year one, or how's that looking?
We're going to know a lot in about 2 weeks. The training staff, apparently his knee has recovered very well, or his patellar tendon, and Andy Reid's talked very highly about him. I'm skeptical to say that everything's going to be great. Everything's going to be fine. He's going to walk into training camp and be the starter. I think he's going to have a shot to compete. But again, like, he was looking good in OTAs and, mini camp. They're not wearing pads. So it's like kind of hard to judge where he's at in the timeline of his recovery. I will say there is a world where Josh Simmons wins the left tackle job, and Jalen Moore, the guy you brought in to be a maybe left tackle, he could, if Jawan Taylor struggles, take over at right tackle. So I think that we see Jalen Moore take a lot of snaps at right tackle in training camp. And if that's the case, means Josh Simmons is probably your starter week 1. And it also means that Jawan Taylor is going to have a bit of competition.
Jawan's not going to struggle until the refs actually start calling.
Until he doesn't get that 5-yard
early,
or that 5-second early snap.
Every single snap.
The old Lane Johnson release.
Anything else going on out there, man, with the Chiefs, man? How are we feeling right now going into training camp right now? I mean, you guys, we've talked about this ad nauseum already, but, getting blown out by the Eagles. What's the temperature out there in Kansas City in regards to this offseason? Because you guys had a great draft. The offseason has been phenomenal for you guys, and I hate to say it as a Raider fan. But, I mean, what's really just – how is there anything else with the Chiefs right now going into training camp? Any other – we're like, whoa, I didn't know that. Any inside stuff?
There's a lot of excitement around this team. I actually think that this might be the best roster that we've had in a couple of years, and that's kind of crazy to say. I think that the wide receiver room is easily the best that Patrick Mahomes has ever had, and that's assuming that everybody stays healthy for the majority of the season. There's a lot of hype around the offense, and there's not really an excuse to be a bad offense anymore. It's like you've spent so much on your offensive line. You spent so much in terms of draft capital at going out and getting wide receivers, getting, a running back. Now, they didn't spend a huge draft pick on a running back, but guys are back healthy. There is an expectation that the offense is going to be better this year. And I think that we would have saw a better offense last year if guys stayed healthy, but that just wasn't the reality. So I think that this year there's a lot of optimism that the offense gets back to being what they were in 2022, a year that they won the Super Bowl, a year that Patrick Mahomes won the MVP. I think that that's kind of what they should shoot for, not the 2018, 2019 offense where it's like, okay, we're not putting up 35 points a game, but they should be much better.
So, no, I think we talked enough about these bums, Ben. Do you agree?
I think it's time to dunk on some Chargers.
Well, we'll get there.
Okay.
First and foremost, I want to talk about our brother Ben. Just had a 2-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro, wide receiver on his platform. Phenomenal interview. If you guys have not gotten an opportunity, make sure to go head over to Ben's channel, and I'm gonna put the link in the chat before the show is up. Marvin Mims, man, how did that all come together, and how did the interview go in your eyes? And is there any new things that you learned about this team through Marvin Mims?
Yeah, dude, it was like one of the highlights of my life, probably. Like it was. I have his rookie card right here.
Nice.
And what a cool dude, and tons of connections all over the AFC West, especially. He went to high school with Nick Bolton. Guess who else? Guess who else went to? Well, if you watched, Ashton Genty transferred in his senior year. Yes, exactly. And he talks about both of them being dogs. I kind of was hoping to hear like Ashton Genty's not going to be good, and he was saying he would play safety, he would play middle linebacker, and is just like a football playing Jesse. And so, it just wild to have two guys who you played high school with who are in the AFC West. And that's just, I mean, I've been a public school teacher my whole adult life and only have been connected to one pro player in any line of work, and to think that you have 4 of them come out of one high school graduating class. It's just, y'all are different there. And that's right where you live, right, Graphk?
Texas heaven, man. I mean, football heaven out here in Texas, right around the corner from me. Literally, we were just over there. How bad? Went over to Lone Star, took some pictures over there and stuff. I always try to let my son kind of see the school and remind him like, hey, this is who went here. So it's and it's always going to be in his brain like, wow, like I got a chance to go to the high school that Ashton Genty was at. So, but yeah, man, this is a great football haven out here in Texas. Definitely, man.
Totally. Other big things were just like his learning the full route tree and just his evolution as a wide receiver. Because I think when he first got here, we thought of him as a return guy, and then truly that last 7 weeks of the Broncos season, he really blossomed into a legitimate wide receiver too. If you look at advanced analytics, he had the biggest separation cushion of all receivers targeted by like a New York mile. So he averaged 5 yards of separation. The next under him is like a 4.2 yard of separation. And then you look at the highest passer rating when targeted amongst all wide receivers in the league last year was Marvin Mims Jr. So a speedster, and now he's starting to get his, get his footing and learn those routes. And
13 yards per catch, 6 touchdowns last year, 503 yards on 39 catches, man. I loved Marvin Mims in college. I hate him now, but I love him because he was on your platform.
Yeah, man, that's so cool.
Salute to you, Ben. Great interview. If you guys get an opportunity, once again, I will put the link in the chat. What's going on out there, man, in Broncos country, man? We're right around the corner. This is the week that we actually get to report on football and not just other stuff that's being thrown. Shit that's been thrown against the wall.
Yeah. So we're one of 2 teams that still has not signed its first round draft pick. So Jahdae Barron still hasn't been signed, and rookies report tomorrow.
What's going on with that? What's the Barron situation?
I don't know if it's like a Travis Hunter situation where he's, because Travis Hunter got like a ridiculous amount of guaranteed or something like that, or if no one knows, and Sean Payton runs the tightest ship ever. And so, we had players tearing Achilles and we didn't hear about it for a whole month. And Alex Singleton tears his ACL in a game and we don't hear about it until the Saturday before the next game. So Sean does keep a tight lid on things, but no one knows why not. And then obviously we haven't signed RJ Harvey either, and we need him to truly like pop next year. So I would love to have both of them at camp tomorrow. So definitely keeping an eye on Twitter right now to see.
We're all waiting on those second rounders though, Ben. We're all waiting. I mean, Jack Besh is a guy that we're expecting to be really, really good for us in that wide receiver room this year. Once again, we talked about it last week. Cleveland and the Texans just threw a monkey wrench into the game, guaranteeing those second round guys.
Yep.
So, but they'll be there. And once again, we talked about this on today's Coffee and Convo show that they can sign a waiver, you guys. They can still go out there and play in training camp. There are ways to work around it until they're contractually,
I would do that. No, I'm not doing that.
It's like an injury settlement kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a waiver that you can sign in order to get out there, in which I don't know where RJ Harvey's, I don't know how he's feeling. I know Trey Harris was the first guy with the Chargers to kind of just say, I'm holding out completely.
Yeah.
So,
well, Darcy, you signed a waiver, like an NDA, when you went on Epstein Island. Talk about that.
I knew it was going to that. I think there's a better chance that we get the Epstein list before the Broncos actually win a playoff game.
Wow. That's absolutely.
I don't even know where we go from there.
Yeah,
Darcy's rebuttal game is crazy today. His rebuttal game is definitely lit, man. But
other thing is,
someone clip that.
No, I definitely don't. Other thing, Graphk, I think you and I both are kind of fighting and pounding the table for Juwan Jennings, like hearing that he doesn't want to show up at 49ers camp, and a guy I loved at Tennessee, and just like a blocker. You guys remember we had this guy named Lil Jordan Humphreys last year, and he played 50% of the snaps, and not like an incredible receiver, but Sean loved him because of his blocking game. Yeah. And I think Juwan Jennings is a better receiver, obviously, than Lil Jordan Humphreys, and brings that blocking mentality to it. So that would be, I don't want to make a run at Keenan Allen or Amari Cooper. But if we could get Juwan Jennings, but also we have, unlike Darcy, waiting till the last second to sign guys and overpaying. Last offseason, the Broncos signed both Quinn Meinerz to a long-term hometown discount, and then Pat Surtain, which now Pat Surtain, who's the best corner in football, is paid as the sixth best corner in football. That's how being out in front of it. So the Broncos have four guys who they need to do that with right now. Cortland's on the last year of his deal. Also Nick Bonito, Zach Allen, and John Franklin Meyer. So it'll be interesting.
Good luck
to see.
paying all those guys.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with Juwan Jennings. I like the player.
Oh,
I talked about it yesterday because CBS Sports, I believe, put out an article that stated the Raiders should reach out. And it doesn't make any sense. We have our own 28-year-old that we need to take care of in Jacoby Myers, who's been very much so way more productive than Jennings up to this point. Last year, he did have, a career year where he almost had 1,000 yards receiving.
That's wild with the quarterback play you had. He almost had 1,000 yards. And
No. He had over 1,000 yards.
And Brock Bowers had over 1,000, right?
Yeah, they both had over 1,000 yards. That was Jacoby's first year where he had over 1,000 yards receiving. But Juwan Jennings kind of got forced into that number one role last year with the Niners. The situation with Brandon Ayuk and Debo. And he had 975. He had 6 touchdowns on 77 catches, played in 15 games. But we have our own 28-year-old that we need to take care of. I don't think it really makes any sense to make a trade for a guy that essentially has kind of the same skill set. I think Jacoby is more talented. But once again, they're both going to be 29 soon. One has been a lot more productive. I mean, you look at Jennings' stats previously to last year, Ben, it really wasn't great. Yeah, year one, 282. Yeah. Second year, 416. The third year, 265. So, this could be the Shanahan special. The offense. Shanahan knows how to make players look phenomenal. We know this. His system is great. But I don't want to part ways with any draft capital to bring in a guy that, once again, essentially does the same thing as Jacoby, but Jacoby does it at a higher clip. And Jacoby's on an expiring contract as well. So we need to pay him. So I'd rather pay our own guy than go out and go get another guy that's disgruntled. What the hell is going on out there in Santa Clara?
Dude, they're so loud there, man. And Shanahan is
bad.
Shanahan's an amazing offensive mind, but he's not a good leader of men, dude. Like, if you think of just how quiet all of our front offices have been, it's like there's adults in the room who players respect, and so they, you don't hear anything, and it's like Ayuk talking out and like just over and over. Graph, what's going on in Raiders Nation other than waiting for the Max Crosby new EP?
There's nothing going on in Raiders Nation, but there's definitely a lot going on in Raider Nation. So you got to take that S off. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's slow motion right now. Once again, we got the Rooks reporting on the 17th. So we got some football. I've talked to a few of them. They're excited to get those pads on, man. This class that we brought in, you guys, character guys, like really good dudes. They're excited to get out there, man, and get to rolling. Our vets, even though Colton Miller has no more guaranteed money, he is not a guy that is holding out, at least up to this point. He's our starting left tackle. I know he wants a new deal. we're watching this very closely because once again, when camp comes around, things can change, right? But he's been at every offseason activity that's going on out there in Henderson at the headquarters. He's been there. I'm watching Jacoby as well because once again, he has 1 year left on his deal. Looks as though we're trying to pay our kicker, Daniel Carlson, here very soon as well. But outside of that, man, I think the nation is just kind of worried about this Christian Wilkins situation. We're kind of just waiting to see if they're going to place him on the PUP list. I know the Chargers just placed a few people. I wanted to talk about that as well. They placed about 6 players, I believe, on the PUP list. Wilkins has not officially been there yet. We'll see. I know he's still got the boot on, and he's trying to get over that Jones fracture. But, man, it's just been slow motion, man. Football this week, though. We're going to have plenty to talk about. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see our young guys, some of our young guys, and then Brock Bowers. They hosted a celebrity softball game out there in Las Vegas.
I didn't see that.
And it was
Bowers hit a bomb.
Bro, I think he hit like a winning grand slam to win the game. Like, Brock is just good at everything, Ben. I mean, he's no Ingram, right? But I'm just saying, Brock, you know what I mean? But, Brock is just that dude. But, I'm
his hairline, though, dude. Like, he's like 22, and he's been balding since he was like 12, man. That's a sign of high T.
HGH will do that.
Yep.
Hey, we you gonna throw that on him? That's nasty work, Darcy.
Dude, you work for ESPN, Darcy. You can't say stuff like that anymore. That's a report. We're aggregating this. That he just failed the drug
Listen,
test.
you can send it to I do not work for ESPN. You can send it to them. They might do something, but I don't know what they would do. But I wanted to add, well, I guess quickly, they're all on something to be a pro athlete, but that's besides the point. I wanted to ask you, Graphk, at what point do you get worried about Wilkins? Because, like, being on the PUP list, as we're going to talk about with the Chargers, is a big deal.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you never want to, we good? Just want to make sure. Okay. You never want to pay a guy that kind of money and he's never on the football field, right? I mean, it sucks, but I know that Pete Carroll and Graham and those guys on the defensive side of the ball, but Spytek, our general manager, they went out and drafted 2 back-to-back defensive tackles. We got JJ. We went and got Tonka Hemingway out of South Carolina. I know they expect those guys to play some very valuable minutes in year one with us. So I'm not too much worried about it. I hate that I don't get to see a world where potentially Christian Wilkins, a healthy Malcolm Kuntz, and a healthy Max Crosby. Like, that can be one of the best defensive lines in football. And, we can never have anything good. It's like, here, Max is back. Malcolm Kuntz is back. We'll go ahead and take Christian Wilkins from you. It just fucking sucks, man. It's like, come on. But I'm holding out hope, you guys. It is difficult to have that kind of weight on you and come back from a Jones fracture in your foot. That is a tough assignment. But once again, there was a ton of rumors about needing a second surgery and him not wanting to do it. There was a rumor that came out. I don't know where the hell it was started, but that the Raiders want him to get the second surgery, so he'll be ready to go next year, and Christian wants to play through it. So until training camp starts on the 22nd, I don't really know, man. In a perfect world, Christian Wilkins, I put this on Twitter, comes out, the Kevin Nash takes off the fake boot and just jumps on the football field and like, let's go win a fucking Super Bowl. So I don't know, but we're kind of playing a waiting game. And Darcy, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. Because when you mentioned all we do is win Super Bowls, I don't know if you heard it, but my wife in the background, she said, this guy.
Listen, Ben's chat, not big fans. This chat, not big fans. It's okay because when you come in second place, I don't expect you to be that happy.
Wow.
No one wants a second place trophy.
Well, you know what? I think we can all agree on this, right?
Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness, guys. That is
somebody went in Los Angeles and just poured a pitcher of lemonade. Dude. And poof, out comes these weird, piss-colored, nasty, disgusting Big Bird. How do you guys feel about this, man? The Chargers, New Jerseys.
It might not be the only embarrassing thing on watching them lose on Sundays. This might make it worse.
This will make 4 interceptions in a playoff game really stand out. Like, you'll know who threw them. Like, you just can't miss him. Like, he's, like 6'7", laser rocket arm, and wearing a Big Bird costume. Like, it's awful.
He looks like he's pissed. Like, he looks like he knows what's
more like pissed on.
Darcy is on fire today.
I'm glad Graphk like that
Let's
one.
go. Darcy with a haymaker, but this is disgusting. This is disgusting. Trey Harris is holding out. Herbert,
What a transition.
Herbert is getting pissed on. I mean, there's a ton of players on the pup list, and you know what? I think I screenshot this, you guys. So I'm gonna talk about this because we try to talk as much about what everything AFC related. The Chargers placing wide receiver Mike Williams on the physically unable to perform list already. Elijah Molden, safety. We talked about Mike Williams. Wide receiver Jalen Johnson, linebacker Delshawn Phillips, and OT Savion Washington. Already pup list. You love to see it.
That is what, like, they had already lost 3 defensive starter. Like, they are just, I'm not kidding. I think they're going to finish last in our division.
I do too. And I think the Chargers are doing Chargers shit, right? This is what they do. Every offseason, they get all their 18 and a half fans excited. They do this kind of goofy shit, New Jerseys and Pop-Tart memes, right? They get everybody hyped up, and then everybody's hurt by week 1.
I said their schedule release is cool.
Yeah, their social media team is the best in football. Let's give them credit where credit is due. No doubt about it.
I think that Pop-Tart shit is generic, and I think it's terrible.
I mean, either way, the fact we're talking about their social media team means they suck. They suck.
100%. I mean, the fact that I wouldn't want to trade Bo Nix, and you guys agree with me, for Justin Herbert right now, that's pretty telling, right?
Could we recircle and visit this conversation next year?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think there is a world where Bo Nix regresses, and I'm not saying he's going to be a complete bum, but I do think that you might have a little bit more struggles with that team. Your defensive line might not lead the NFL in sacks again. All I'm saying is regression is normal. It's just how much are you going to regress if you regress at all?
Let me say this, you guys. I think they're both, they can both be phenomenal players. We've seen it at times with Herbert. We've seen Bo Nix go out there and have a massive rookie season. I think this year, their success depends on 2 people. Herbert, with Marion Hampton, and RJ Harvey with Bo Nix. I believe that, and Harvey will be out there soon. Marion Hampton is going to be phenomenal for the Chargers. It all depends on what those guys do. And if Harbaugh, which he loves to commit to the run, if Sean Payton will commit to the run a little bit more this upcoming season. That's what. Now, you look at both these guys, they look like prototype quarterbacks. They both have strong arms. Herbert, we've heard all about this potential year in and year out. And then it's on display, and then it's not. Then it's on display, then it's not. This is the year where he has to go out there and make the playoffs and win a playoff game, you guys. If not, I don't want to hear about Herbert anymore. I just don't want to hear about him anymore. Bo Nix has time. Still really young, rookie deal. Mahomes, your quarterback, went out there and has changed the game. You know what I'm saying? Even my guy has 2 Pro Bowls. He's never won a playoff game, but he's our bridge guy with Geno Smith. I'm just waiting to see when this shit is going to materialize, you guys. When is Herbert going to turn into this stud that everybody said he was going to be coming out of Oregon? I'm waiting.
And all those talks at the draft last year that Harbaugh was looking to ship Herbert and a bunch of firsts to the Vikings and then draft JJ seemed so ridiculous at the time. And
that would be.
And now you're like, wait, I think he was, because look, Harbaugh wants to run the ball. Yeah. You got Najee Harris and O'Marion Hampton with a 1st-round draft pick and a huge.
Najee has one eye now. Just want to put that out there.
I was going to say Najee enjoyed the 4th of July a little too much.
Yeah.
What happened?
Apparently, he's okay.
Najee's a pirate now. He's a pirate.
What happened? He got hit.
Firework. Bing.
No. Really?
Yeah. He's fine though.
Okay, guys, I got to log off and make a video on this. He got hit in the face with a firework?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the best offseason ever, you guys. We got Brock Bowers definitely confirmed doping, and Najee Harris got hit in the face with a firework.
I can't wait to see what you say about the Chiefs. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Real quick, man. Hug just came through with a bomb.
What?
To my guy with a $50 special, man. Darcy's background looks like he's been locked in his room and fed mashed potatoes under the door while being tortured. Ben looks like he smokes out of a gravity bong in his room and dabs around the fridge while making a ham and Oreo cookie sandwich.
I literally don't know what half of that stuff means, and maybe you guys
I
can
know what it
explain
is.
to me.
That's all that matters.
Wow.
Talk.
I will say to kind of thanks for the donation.
Yes, that's huge.
I will say that watching Raiders football is torturous enough.
I hate you, bro.
Wow,
I hate you.
that is really
Salute to
hard.
my brother Hug, man. Love you, man.
Raiders.
Thank you so much for the $50 special. Salute to 2-4. Graphk and Ben Darcy on so-called fire today because he's been writing down jokes since he's been on the AFC West show, practicing in front of the mirror, trying not to F it up. Practice. Salute to 2-4. Like, yeah, man.
What about practice?
You're talking about practice?
But you know what's funny, though? Ben knows this. Darcy is actually hilarious. Like behind the scenes, Darcy is funny as hell. So this is natural. You know, usually he's just an arrogant piece of shit on these lives. You know what I mean? The Chiefs, Super Bowl.
When all you do is go to Super Bowl.
It's part of the charm.
Get some questions in, you guys. Let's have some fun before we get out of here. Once again, next week, we are going to have a ton to talk about because all our teams will be reporting for training camp. So next week's show, we'll have a ton to talk about. I know Ben's going to get a bunch of inside information on the Broncos. I know Darcy's going to get a ton with the Chiefs, and you know I'll be getting a ton with the Raiders. So stay tuned for that. Next week's show is definitely going to be lit. Also, we are working on bringing in a new Chargers content creator. So stay tuned for that. We don't want to just come over here and shit on the Chargers. Well, we do, but we definitely want somebody to come here and big them up, and then we can talk shit about them afterwards. So stay tuned for that. It'll be on the way soon. Hopefully by the season, we'll have somebody in the building. And if not, we can rotate a few guys in and out and you know what I mean, pause if necessary. And we'll have some fun.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Guys, have you been seeing what's happening with the Bengals, man? Like, as we can dunk on the Chargers all we want, but could you imagine how I would be despondent if the Denver Broncos first round draft pick said, you know what, I'm going to go back to college? Like, yes, that is absolutely crazy. And it's great for all of us as we're vying for a playoff spot. It's like that Cincinnati Bengals defense, which is already horrid. Now as a Trey Hendrickson holdout and your first round pick is going back to stinking college. That's ridiculous.
Bro, he's already working out at Texas A&M back at his alma mater. So, and right now they're literally in the middle of installs and getting that thing together out there in Cincinnati. So they put it out there. I think ML Football put it out there. I think Ben sent this to the group. Yeah. Bengals first round pick Shamar Stewart left the team and went back to practicing with Texas A&M. Stewart now may not play in the NFL this season and return to Texas A&M and re-enter the draft in 2026. Shamar has been practicing with the Aggies all summer. Now, I got to be honest, you guys. I'm not the biggest Shamar Stewart fan. I think that was the wrong move for Cincinnati in the first place. I think it'd be much more valuable for him to return to college and then come back next year in the draft. Have you guys seen his tape? I'm not a big fan of it.
I'm not a big Shamar Stewart fan. The issue is like, if I'm Joe Burrow, I'm walking in the owner's office and slamming his head through the desk. Like, I guess maybe the GM.
Yeah, dude.
What are we doing? What are we doing? We could have drafted anybody. Why do we get someone and we're gonna mince over a contract dispute, and it's the same shit they gave the guy last year? He's not even asking for anything special. It doesn't make any sense to me.
But what could Burrow say, Ben? I mean, honestly, he just got his guy. You just got two wide receivers paid wide receiver one money. Like, if I'm Burrow, I'm saying, if I want to win a championship, take care of Chase, buy Higgins. You're my guy. Love you to death. You're my brother. Pay Hendrickson and take care of your defense. Burrow's not going to win a championship like this. You can't pay
bad roster construction.
That is terrible, bro. Terrible. So I mean, it's not a shocker to me. And I feel for those fans. I went up to Cincinnati last year and watched my Raiders get their ass beat. And those fans were good fans, really cool people. You know what I mean? Trying to pat me on the back. Hey, man, it's okay, man. Your Raiders are going to be all right. I'm like, fuck y'all, man. But, you know, they were nice.
I can't stand those bitches. I
can't stand Cincinnati.
I can't stand Bengals fans.
For real. But this, you just saw in the quarterback documentary, if you guys are watching it, Joe Burrow lays into his head coach because at the end of a game, they have 8 false start calls, and you can't have Joe Burrow be the only serious person in that entire organization. And truly, I know that if we don't win the West, which I think we're going to, we need to get a wild card spot, and that's going to be battling the Bengals. Like, we know the AFC North is nothing to play around with. I think Aaron Rodgers is not going to hit there. So it's truly, I think, an open spot where we can easily have 3 AFC West teams in the playoffs again next year.
I want you guys to take real quick while we're just here hanging out. What's your most delusional take that you have about your team? Like Ben, was yours you guys winning the division?
Yeah, I think the Broncos are in the AFC Championship game this year.
Delusion at its finest.
Yeah, I think the Ravens are going to be really hard to beat. I think I think we could beat the Bills. I think we can beat the Chiefs. I think the Ravens are going to be tough to beat, but
I think I heard Darcy last week, Ben, say something along the lines of, "This is going to be the best Patrick Mahomes," or something along those lines that we've seen. Is it ever, or just in a long time?
Maybe
I don't.
2022. I think that's not like a hot take, though.
Yeah, Kay Adams asked him, "Is this the best receiving core you've had?" And Patrick Mahomes said yes. So
yeah, which I agree with. I agree.
But if you can't block a 4-man pressure,
like, what's a hot take when?
Oh, here we go with this.
I won't say it.
Are you going to win 15 games?
You guys know.
Yeah.
No, I don't even think they're going to win 15 games, but I think that's okay. I still think they're going to win the division. I still think they are going to have a chance to get the number 1 seed. I'm trying to think of a hot take. You know what?
And I mean one that you actually truly believe.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if this is a hot take. We're sweeping the division.
No, dude, that's not happening. I don't think any of us are sweeping the division. And that's what
ESPN had the Raiders. Did the ESPN have the Raiders beating the Chiefs twice this year? Everybody in my chat, I didn't see this.
That's crack.
I'm just saying, Darcy, today, everybody was saying that ESPN said the Raiders were sweeping the Chiefs. Now, I don't know how real this is. I haven't looked it up myself, but everybody was flooding the chat to my ESPN said the Raiders.
That's honestly a good thing for us. I don't know why. Like, if I was you, I'd be like, I don't like that.
Look, I got us beating you guys once. I got us going 3-3 in our division, beating every one of our teams once. You guys beating us once. So I'm gonna be realistic here. I don't really have any delusion this year. You guys were 4-13. So
you're gonna make the playoffs, you think, Graphk?
I'm not even gonna go that far.
Yeah.
I just want to win more games. I want to win at least double than what we did last year. Just show me some signs of life, and I am okay. That's it. You know what I mean? And you know what? Is this delusional, you guys? Ashton Genty's gonna lead the league in rushing yards.
I don't think that's delusional at all.
Ooh,
is it? Oh, lead the league.
Lead the league.
You got Derrick Henry, Saquon. But you guys, like, outside
Pete
of Brock Bowers, it's his offense. So I don't know.
To you, we got some underrated guy. And remember, Chip Kelly's in the building, Dars. Okay, this is not Philadelphia Eagles Chip Kelly. This is not the San Francisco 49ers Chip Kelly. This is Ohio State National Championship Chip Kelly with a bunch of youngsters.
I'll tell you what, you can't take out the first 2 portions of Chip Kelly and just, make it seem like everything's going to be all right.
You know what, man? I hate when you're right.
They had like a perfect example. Bill O'Brien was a good OC in college. He sucked ass in the NFL. Wherever you put him. Offense.
Sandusky did some horrible stuff, and Joe Pa tried to bury it under the rug. Talk about it, Dars. Oh, you're over here.
I don't even know who those people are.
You don't know who Sandusky or Joe Pa are?
Was that the Penn State?
Penn State, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna avoid that.
Ben was there.
Epstein. We gotta keep moving.
Ben was there.
I wasn't.
Yo, salute to everybody in the building. That's very delusional. Our guards are suspect. That's not delusional, S-Dot. I mean, look, man, you bring in Alice Capital, who essentially was the worst guard in football last year, and Parham, who's not really lived up to the hype that we thought he was going to be coming out of Memphis when we drafted him in the third round. We got Jordan Meredith, a guy that we kind of just – I'm expecting for him to be good this season, but once again, he hasn't been this phenomenal talent up to this point in his career. I don't think that's delusional at all. I mean, we got a Caleb Rogers, third-round guy out of Texas Tech that I'm expecting some good things out of, but that's not delusional. But I think the most thing delusional I can say is that Ashton Genty, the way he performed in college football last season, that he can lead the league in rushing. Why not? I mean, I think Brock is going to lead every statistical category as a tight end. I mean, can you guys agree on that?
Yeah. Who do you think is going to win Rookie of the Year? It's
got to be Cam. It's a quarterback's you know, they love to give it to the quarterback.
Shedeur Sanders, I told you guys he was going in the first round. It's definitely going to be Travis Hunter, man, because if he plays both ways, I think he wins it.
You know what? That's a great one right there.
Could you imagine if he won offensive and defensive rookie of the year?
He's so sick.
Jackson,
I hope they would never let that happen, but
but that would be absolute insanity, and that's why he got all that guaranteed money. Did you see what their account, their social media? They posted him signing his deal twice. Yeah, cornerback Travis Hunter, wide receiver. I'm like, yo, they're really planning to play this kid both sides of the ball. And man, the way he's built, you guys, at the NFL level, I don't know how long that they can do that. I don't know how long
he's
they're
going to get popped. He's going to get blown up.
Okay. No, I mean, his trainer who trains Olympic sprinters said there's no Olympic sprinter on the entire Team USA. Oh gosh, that picture.
Then was the Penn State water boy.
You can't Olympic sprint out of a
no. But what are you
crushing hit?
Oh, you mean like that? I thought you meant he had the gas to do it. You're like,
I think there's going to be players that like target him, like that want to like mess him up.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring this up to you guys real quick as well. I know we talked about some rankings last week. We talked about secondaries and those rankings. So I believe, was it CBS? Let me bring this up real quick. And once again, man, salute to everybody here in the building. Make sure you guys get those likes up. Hit that subscribe button on all 3 channels, man. We definitely appreciate everybody for watching. And once again, I know we hate the Chiefs. I know we hate the Broncos, you guys, to all my Raider fans in the building. But we love Ben and we love Darcy. Make sure you guys go over there and support their channels. Run those numbers up. Keep them in the algorithm. And once again, it helps with sponsors. It helps with everything. So go over there. Even if you got to flood their chat and just tell them repeatedly how much their team suck ass, that's okay. Just hit the subscribe button. That's all I ask of. Real quick, NFL's top 10 defenses. Oh, and it's gone. So let me see. Okay. Boom. You guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So if it's NFL.com. So this is what I wanted to bring up at the beginning of the show before we start going a little crazy. So 10, Pittsburgh, they're a top 10 defense. New England, number 9, I can see that with Vrabel in the mix now. And they mentioned a bunch of guys that they brought in free agency: Milton, Harold Landry, Spillane, Carlton Davis, Christian Gonzalez, who is one of the better corners in football. He's young. He's going to be phenomenal. Barmore is a guy I love. I can see that. Minnesota at 8, they have one of the best defensive coordinators in football with Flores. Seattle's interesting. I know they have a ton of names over there. I don't know how that is going to look this year. Leonard Williams, Big Cat, Byron Murphy, DeMarcus Lawrence. I don't know how much the tank got left in it. I really don't. They brought back Ernest Jones, which is great. Do you guys think Seattle belongs here in that ranking? They have a great secondary. They went and got Nick Amari, always butcher his name, out of South Carolina in this draft. They got Reek Woolen, Devin Witherspoon, Julian Love, Kobe Bryant. I mean, do you guys think that Seattle belongs here with the defensive-minded head coach too?
I think that's what it is, man. Like, you just see what he got at Baltimore, and Sean Payton talked about how hard it is to game plan against his offense, that you got pressure coming from anywhere and you can't read it. So I think that does raise the bar of what they can do. I think that Detroit ranking is way too high, man, with Hutch. Like, Detroit's putting out videos of Hutchinson running, and he does not look like 100%. And they're like, dude, he looks great. I'm like, no, he looks like a Tesla robot, bro.
Yeah, you can see it's definitely still bothering him. But, I mean, look what they did last year. They played so many different – they were bringing guys off the street to start for him last year, and they were finding ways to win football games. They did get a lot better through this year's draft class, but I wouldn't have them here at 6. If anything, I'd probably drop them back to the somewhere in that 9 to 10 range where New England possibly is. They do have Dan Campbell. You know, he's definitely a great head coach. But we go down here. KC is at 5. Darcy, what do you think about this? Because last year the defense was good. The year prior they were good. They had one of the better defensive coordinators in Spags. What do you think about this? And you guys added to that defense this offseason. You know what I mean? So what's your take at 5?
I think it depends, like, what makes a top defense. Like, are we talking about points allowed? Are we talking about yards? Are we talking about – I think points allowed is really the biggest stat. Like, if you're giving up 30 points a game, but you grade out well, you know, in all these other – well, I guess you're not going to grade out well in a lot of other areas if you're giving up 30 points a game. But, like, I want to see the 4 teams ahead of the Chiefs. I've assumed that we're going to see Denver, which I think that's a little bit debatable.
Bro, we were the stat you said is what makes a good defense. The Broncos were 3 last year. Without an inside linebacker who tore his
Who is
ACL.
1 and 2 though?
Oh, the Raiders are number 1. I mean, come on, bro. What are we talking about here? We got
In points allowed.
Christian Wilkins is going to take the boot off, and next thing you know, boom.
Well,
No.
Happened.
Nah. Texans at 4, which I think that they belong there in that top 5.
Yeah.
They have a phenomenal roster. They have a great defensive-minded head coach. They got Stingley, brought him back on a crazy contract. That makes sense, and they have one of probably the best duo at edge rusher with Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. So they belong there. Baltimore here at 3, even though that defense had problems last season. I know they had some injuries and stuff like that, but Baltimore on paper, that defense, right? Kyle Hamilton is phenomenal. Malachi Starks is going to be a star, especially going to Baltimore with the right coaching staff out there. Starks is going to be a stud. They got Jair Alexander. If he could stay healthy, Jair, which is a major question mark, they stole him. They got Wiggins, who's great, the kid out of Clemson. And then they got Mike Green. I know the off-field stuff, but he fell all the way to the second round. You add him on that defensive line with all that firepower they already have, and shit can get spooky with the Baltimore Ravens. Offensively, they're already a juggernaut.
Dude, exactly. That's why I think they're going to be the Super Bowl representation from.
So this means Denver is number 1. So Philly at 2 makes sense, right? I had them either at 1 or 2. I mean, we don't even have to go around the list of why they're at 2. They're coming off a Super Bowl appearance, not appearance. They won it. They beat the shit out of
First and foremost, Philly's defense is better than the Denver Broncos defense. I can tell you firsthand, ladies and gentlemen, I watched it. I saw it. I watched it.
Go look at how many points you scored on us in both games, bro. You beat us on a blocked field goal. The Broncos held you
probably more than the Eagles.
No, absolutely not. No, because you blocked the field goal. Okay, but the first game at home where you should have been like hyped and playing great, right? Bo Nix's first road game in Kansas City, and you beat us on a blocked field goal, and you scored 16 points on us.
Pretty hyped when he was running around the field after the blocked kick. He looked pretty hyped then.
But you scored less points on the Broncos both times than you scored on the Philadelphia Eagles, so you can't tell me firsthand. And the Broncos hit Mahomes like a million times in that game.
I got to put Philly ahead of Denver. I have to.
Objectively, Philly's better.
Okay, the Broncos had the most sacks last year, so they have the best defensive edge rushing tandem in football, right? Like you can say that Max is better, but if you add Benito with 13 and Cooper with 10 sacks last year, and then you got 2 guys with 5, and then you have the best corner in football in Pat Surtain, and then you go out and get a top 5 linebacker in Hufanga, and I mean,
barring any health, and because once again,
he got hella health issues with those San Francisco guys.
Yes,
and you kind of don't even talk about that. I will say, the Chiefs led the league in sacks in 2023, and guess what? Same guys, very next year went to 28. To think that your Denver Broncos are going to replicate what they did last year, I'm not saying they're going to be bad. They're not going to probably lead the league in sacks, and that's okay. But I don't think you're not going to be able to tout that all these guys are going to do exactly, because again, to lead the league in sacks, a lot of things have to go right, and I think it's a little naive to think that everything's going to go right.
Yeah, either way, I think this is interchangeable, but I still have the Eagles at 1. I think it's a 1A, 1B type situation. But Denver on paper and on film, I mean, you just watch it last year, they definitely have a phenomenal defense. So I can't take that away from them. But salute to the chat. Let me know what you guys think about this list. There was a few teams I agree with Ben. I don't think Detroit should have been that high. I think they should have been lower on that list. I think the Texans can maybe come up a little bit. New England, there's so many questions, right? They have a defensive-minded head coach now, and they have a ton of talent on that side. They overpaid a bunch of mid to me in the offseason, but we'll see where that thing goes. But salute to NFL.com. I think they also had – I want to see something real quick before we get off of this. I think they had their offense.
Can I ask a question really quickly? I think, and it's hard to assume this, but if Baltimore stays healthy, can we objectively agree that they're probably 2, if not 1?
Who?
Baltimore. Yeah, I mean, I was shocked Baltimore is so low.
Oh, yeah. No, bro, literally. Like, if they can stay healthy –
they're definitely better than Denver. If they stay healthy, they're better than Denver.
Got you, Ben. Real quick, want to go over this real fast, you guys, before we get out of here. Top 10 offenses. They got Kansas City at 10 with Patrick Mahomes at the quarterback position, Darcy. NFL.com has you at 10.
I'll be honest, that's too low.
Also, what is the
running game
paragraph after? We're talking about Devontae Adams, Caleb Williams. What's going on?
Oh, no, they're mentioning
other
teams that have picked up, like the Rams picking up Devontae Adams, Caleb Williams getting, his some new firepower out there with Chicago. I think they mentioned Liam Cohen adding Travis Hunter. I think they're just kind of mentioning. Okay, it's kind of weird. I don't know why they would have did that.
I don't know why they laid it out
it's
like that.
Like if it's basically saying like, hey, we didn't even know if they should have been 10, but we gave them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I think it's more along the lines of because what is that rushing attack going to look like this year, and what is the O-line going to look like?
Yep.
I think the wide receiving core, we can all agree, once again, is the best wide receiving core they've had in a long time. Patrick Mahomes is still the guy. They have a phenomenal center. They just took care of their guard. But once again, I think there's just some question marks. Are you guys going to commit to the run this year? Is Pacheco? Is he the guy? Is he the guy?
I think it's going to be a plethora of guys. He's going to be the starter. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, once again, I don't know. And what Rashee Rice's situation, what's going to happen with that? And then Hollywood Brown coming off that nasty injury,
I can tell you what's not going to happen with Rashee Rice. He's not getting suspended. So.
I fucking hate it, man. Salute to the Bengals here at 9. I think they're way too low on this, way too high. Yeah. They should have them as a top 5. This is
what are we doing? That's crazy.
I don't get it, man. They just paid T. Higgins. They just paid Jamar Chase. Yeah, their offensive line is definitely suspect. They added a few guys, Amarius Mims and some other dudes, but I don't. This is nasty. This is nasty. I like Chase Brown. I think he's one of the most underrated running backs in football, but that's crazy at 9. They got Green Bay at 8. I love their head coach. He's a phenomenal.
Josh Jacobs. Could you imagine him in our division? He'd be incredible.
Yeah, we got Genty though, so it's cool.
But, yeah, that's actually true. But like Josh Jacobs is one of my least favorite running backs because we never could stop him, and they got some great wideout talent there. I think that's a good spot for them.
I think they should be lower. I mean, like higher.
Yeah.
Because they got Matthew Golden now, who I think is going to be a wide receiver 1 at the NFL level. They finally got a wide receiver 1. They've had like 2s and 3s. That's what Josh Jacobs was saying. We need a true number 1 wide receiver. I think they got it. Jordan Love is continuing to get better and better. I agree with that. Philly at 7. Holy shit. What?
Yeah.
But that offensive line with Saquon. Okay, this list is just, I want to see Broncos at 6.
Crack.
We are smoking crack. Offense than Philly, Green Bay.
Guys, I'm sorry that this is how you respond to science. Like this isn't me saying it. I'm just shutting up and letting you guys see actual facts. It doesn't feel good, but the truth sometimes hurts.
This is some truth for you right here. Denver was abruptly blown out of the playoffs by Buffalo. Just want to throw that out there real quick. That's nasty. They're at 6. Detroit is at 5. They did lose Ben. So we don't know what that offense is going to look like without him. So I can kind of.
We see the Carolina Panthers in the top 3. What's going on? Who are we going to see?
Washington. Yep, okay. Good.
I definitely agree with that. Okay. I think they should have added another running back. But I mean, Jaden Daniels can do it all. Baltimore at 3. Holy shit.
No, what I say is 1. I think Baltimore is the best.
Oh, I disagree.
Tampa Bay at 2. They have a great duo at the running back position. They have a plethora of wide receivers.
I would take that wide receiving core over your stars.
Godwin
and Evans, and
I'm swapping Tampa Bay with either Green Bay or one of those other teams, even the Commanders.
You're talking, who would you take other than Chase and Higgins? What 2 wide receivers would you take over Evans and Godwin? And then you add Emeka Egbuka, a lot of people's like favorite receiver in that draft, not Travis Hunter. That is loaded, and Baker is constantly slept on.
Buffalo.
Yeah, but you got to think like Godwin's coming back from injury.
Yeah,
Evans is old as hell. Like
he's not as old as Travis Kelce.
I don't know how they have Buffalo at 1. I understand Josh Allen. I understand they got James Cook still out there, even though he's disgruntled with his deal. Keon Coleman, those guys. They still Stewart. Was it Shakir? I think they have Khalil
Shakir. Yeah.
Khalil Shakir. They added some. Who else did they go get? Palmer in free agency.
They signed Mac Hollins. Wait, no, they didn't.
Mac Hollins is the shoeless guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went. Where did he go?
He left. Did he go? I forgot where he was.
I think he went to the Patriots.
Did he?
Maybe.
Real quick.
I don't know.
Yeah, Patriots.
Okay.
I'll say what, he's a freak. Sorry. Yeah.
He was a Raider. We got a chance to see him operate, but that's crazy, man. I don't agree with this. I know Josh Allen is one of the top 3 quarterbacks in football. You can't have them over, to me, Baltimore, Philly, with Saquon Barkley and those guys. I mean, what are we doing here? You know what, man? I'm mad that we made this a segment, you guys.
The most egregious thing is the Broncos over the Eagles and the Packers. And
I mean, we got the number 1 offense, the number 1 defense, number 6 offense. How do you think that's going to play out this year with the Broncos winning the AFC West? And we've got a ton to boat.
You're not gonna clip that. You're not winning the division.
That's our sign off.
You're probably gonna be very upset.
Salute, man, to everybody here in the building. As always, it sucks that my team was not on either one of those lists, but apparently they were drunk when they were writing those articles anyway, Darcy. So
I was gonna say, if the Bucs can get in there, I'm sure we can get the Raiders in there somehow.
Oh my God, what are we doing here? Salute to the chat. As always, we appreciate you guys so much. Everybody watching on Darcy's channel, everybody watching on mine, and everybody that's gonna be watching the pre-record that Ben butchers us with on his channel. Real quick before we get out of here, Ben, let everybody know where to follow you at, brother, and where your channel and all that good stuff.
Hit me up, Sports Talk Denver.
There you go. Go check out the Marvin Mims interview. Go see our brother in his element. He did a great job. I am so proud of my dog. Darcy, where to follow you at, brother, and what you got going on, man?
You guys can find me on YouTube at KC Sports Report. Hopefully we'll have some football to talk about here in about a week. So excited for that.
Next week, you guys, we will be back same time. And once again, we'll have a ton more to talk about, and we won't just freelance a show like we did today. But I had some fun. It
was fun, dude. I loved it. Yeah.
These kind of shows are always the ones that are needed in the off season. Just some laughs, some jokes, goofy shit. You know what I mean? But chat, man, we love you guys. As always, I will be live tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. No, I'm lying. 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Me and my brother Sanjit T talking everything training camp. So stay tuned for that. Darcy, what's up?
It's been a bad week for lists. I'll just say that.
You had to get the Epstein joint out at one point. And I
had to.
Yeah, salute, man, to everybody. And I love that there's no Chargers fans here because once again, they're non-existent AI bots anyway. So salute, man. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We are out of here. AFC West. We are signing out.
I don't believe.
Raiders!